Hello everyone, in this lecture 4, we will learn about queries basics. These are the topics of our today's lecture. In this lecture, we will learn about select statement because it is one of the most important statement and used by data analysts and data scientists. Select statement structure is as given in our slide. It starts with select, then from, and if there are multiple tables, then we use join close with the given condition in on, and where we give certain constraints. After that, we group by a given column if required, and after aggregation we can use having clause to further filter the data. After that, we use order by to order the final columns given on certain conditions, and then use limit clause to limit the number of rows in the final answer. So this is the basic structure of the select statement, and in further slides we will try to learn all these select, from, join, where, group by, having, order by, limit clause separately in this select statement. So first of all, select statement is also called a query, and we already see that there are 6 main clauses in the select statement: select, from, where, group by, having, order by. And to query a database means to retrieve data from a database, typically from table or multiple table. So whenever we write a select statement, we are writing a query, and from that query we are asking the table or our database to give us some data in some specific structured way. So for writing this select statement, the first come the select clause. If we want all the columns, then we can use asterisks. But keep in mind, during production, don't use asterisks, because in production, when a table has a large number of columns, that can break our system. So only use the columns which we are required and write their name in the select clause. Sometimes select is also used to, like, get some data directly, like select current date. It will give us current date of the machine we are using. What happens when we try to write a query? Sometimes there are some tables which have columns with the same name. In that case, we first qualify those columns. Like table 1 has a column with name, and table 2 has column with name. So what we do is we write table 1 dot name as name 1, table 2 dot name as table 2. These name 1, name 2 are the alias which we give to these columns by using qualifying. And these aliases are valid only during your query. Like everyone want to give different column names to their columns, because everyone have different needs from the given database. So these aliases are used by you, will only be visible to you during your query time. Next is subqueries. When we write a query, sometimes the query become very complex. In that case, we try to, like, do some part of the query in subquery. So these queries which are nested inside our query are called subquery. Subqueries must be surrounded by parentheses. Like if you are writing a subquery, this will always be in parentheses. If you are writing your subquery in the select clause, you have to take care that it will only give 1 or 0 rows and one single column, because select clause take care of the row, like what should be in the given row in a given time and in a given column. If there are more than one column or more than one rows in the result of your subquery, then we will get a error. Now there are two kind of subqueries: correlated and non-correlated. Correlated subqueries are those in which case subquery in some way is related to the main query. So if you have to run the subquery, it will take some data from the main query. And in non-correlated, there is no such relation. These are some example of subqueries in SQL. As you can see, in each of these subqueries, we use parentheses. Without parentheses, we will get an error. And in the case of subquery in select clause, you can see that we are taking a query where customer ID equals to customer's ID. If the result of this query give more than one row, then there will be error. So when writing subquery in select clause, always keep in mind that your subquery should give only one row and one column as a result. Otherwise your query will fail. Next is from clause. After select clause come from clause, and it is used to specify the source of data. From table this. And if there are more than one table, then we use join in the from clause to add those two tables together and use them. From table 1 join table 2 on some given column. We can also write subqueries in from clause. But it should be keep in mind that the select statement should be standalone select statement in the from clause, because from clause is used to specify the source of data, and the if this select statement or subquery is related in some way to the main query, then it is like we have a data but it is related to a main query, which will cause an error because we don't even have data yet. How can it be related to our query? And subquery in from clause is also known as a drive table, because this is a table we will use to further do a query. And one more thing to keep in mind is that MySQL relational database management system, in subqueries in from clause will always use a alias. So you will have to give some table name. As we can see in previous slide, subquery in from clause, that there is a as department average given in from clause for the given subquery. Some of the reason of using subquery in from clause are multiple steps to get the result. Like there are several steps we have to follow to get the result. So what we try is we try to transform the table before even writing our main query. Like in from we give the table which will be used to get the results we want. And in some cases when the from clause is very table in the from clause is very large, there are cases when table which we use is very large but we want a particular section of the table, then what we do is we write a standalone select statement in the from clause which will give us a particular chunk of that table on which we will write a query. Next is where clause. First comes select, then from, then where. In where we specify the conditions. Like in previous example, we were talking about how to take a chunk out of the full table. That is done using the where clause. Like in where clause, we use multiple predicates using and, or, etc. that help us to find a particular data from a table. Example, like we have a column name in our given table and we want to find only rows of a particular name, say Ash. So we write where table dot name is equals to Ash. Like we only want data from the Ash name person. One other option to limit our data is by using limit, but it don't follow any condition. It just gives the particular number of rows from the given table. If we limit 5, for example, if we give limit 5, then our query will only give 5 rows. We can also use subqueries in where clause. as we can see in example in where clause, we want particular county IDs. So we select only those county IDs from a other table and check if those county IDs are in a given table. One important thing to keep in mind is that subqueries in where clause do not require alias. Right, as we see in this subquery, in it should be where clause, that where salary is greater than select average salary from employees. So like we are giving a subquery and we should not give it any alias. And the main reason of using subquery in where clause is to take a data from some other table, like these IDs are taken from some other table. So that's why we use the subquery in where clause. One more thing to keep in mind is that joins are better than subqueries. In the case of joins, like these RDBMSs perform joins better than subqueries. This is a thing which we need to keep in our mind. But it also should be keep in mind that we want to solve a problem. If subquery is solving a problem easily, even if it somewhat not optimized, then we should use subquery because we want result. If can be optimized, it's good. If not, then don't need to take any tension. Next is group by clause. What this clause does is after where, like we have finally selected a chunk of our table, then we want to collect rows in certain groups. So we use group by clause. What group by clause does is, like in the example we can see that we want to separate the using rows using location. So we write group by location. So this California rows come together, Los Angeles come together, New Jersey come together. And after group by we need to aggregate, and these aggregations are written in select clause as seen in our example. Select location comma count star asterisk as number from details group by location. One more thing to keep in mind is that select clause will only contain those column names which are in group by and any aggregations. As in the example, group by contain location, so select contain location and aggregation count star, which count the number of rows of a particular group. Like California has 2 rows, so the number columns give 2 rows. Los Angeles has 1 row, so we get 1 row. New Jersey has 1 row, so we get 1 row. Next are having, order by and limit clause. These things also work in similar way. Like having clause is used like where clause after group by. So when the table form after group by clause, we use having clause to further filter it. Having clause doesn't filter our main table which we used in from. It filter the table we get after group by clause. This should be keep in mind. Next is order by. After further filtering, now we want to order the rows which we have in our result in a particular way. So we use order by clause. And after order by, if we want to limit the number of rows we want to see, so we use limit clause as already discussed. So this is a whole select statement structure. We start with select, in which we write the columns we want to use or the aggregates we want to use, which we already discussed in previous slide. Then we write from and write the table name. If there are more than one tables, we use join clause. And after that we further filter the data to select the data we really want to work on with where clause. After that we group these columns in a certain way and then use having to further eliminate the data we don't need. After that, on the final result we use order by to order the data in certain way and then limit to further limit the result we see. For example, we want top 5 location name which are represented in our table more. Like California is 2 time. So what we do is after group by, we have California 2 time, Los Angeles 1, New Jersey 1. So we will order by number. So what will happen is California will come first. We will have to like write order by number as can descending, so that 2 come first, then 1 1 1, and then we limit by 1. So we just want the row of location which was used maximum number of time. Here California was used maximum number of time, and we limit it by 1, so our final result will be California 2. Okay, thank you.